welcome to the live stream. I should say what was supposed to be the live stream here with Cole. So we tried to actually activate it. Apparently, you need to give a notice of 24 hours to be allowed to go live. So we'll have to wing that. I guess we wouldn't have had any live viewers anyway, but still, YouTube wants to keep it safe. One could ask the question, like, if nobody hears a tree falling in the forest, is it actually falling? Same thing with live viewing. If nobody is falling,
it is a metaphysical question: is whether you would have actually a viewer that would be defined as a viewing experience once it's published.
Very, very mind-boggling questions here. For the actual episode, we're keeping it simple. We're doing a first Robusta tasting. So in preparation of getting an Italian blend, I bought for the first time Robusta, and as per the advice of the Firenze roaster that we contacted, I went for India. So for Robusta from India cherry. Don't know if it's supposed to taste like cherry. We'll all discover that.
Yes.
As you can
perhaps also useful to explain the difference between the Robusta and other types of.
That's very important. Why Robusta, or why not? So you can see actually these beans have kind of a bigger kind of variance.
Mm-hmm.
You can see here.
Mm-hmm.
And that also showed during the roast that I did earlier. So I went quite dark because it was unclear when to stop because of that variance.
There was variance in the crack, let's say.
There was a very varying crack. It's crack and then 10 seconds. I couldn't figure it out, but around 6 minutes, I am sure it started going into second crack when I then interrupted it. I think Robusta is drank a lot as a second crack beverage, as people try to kind of hit those flavors. Still, I hope it was early in the second crack, so I hope we will be able to enjoy some of the original flavors. We have here a contraption, I should say, provided by Carl. He started a collection of these machines. Maybe you can explain as I pour it out.
So it was by accident that I started a collection of mocha pots. I am, of course, as an enthusiast of the coffee practice and experimentation. I mentioned it to some of my family members who were accidentally Italian, and per caso had one of these, several of these different mocha instruments. Attention, because
apparently
there is a leakage.
your contraption leaks.
There is a leakage.
I think I understand why they gave it away.
Yeah, so eventually they gave me 3 of these different versions of mocha, and this is one of the most spectacular versions, because as you can see, there is with a normal mocha pot, the coffee travels maybe 5 centimeters and then up into a vertical tube and then descends into the bassin. Now we actually have a whole way that the coffee needs to travel, and it trickles down here in the coffee pot. So we are very curious. This is also a combination of the one that I brought and a small piece of Francis's own mocha instrument.
Yes, as this old device was not made for current times of induction savvy people, so this just would not collaborate with the induction I have here, but it kind of fits, and we didn't have any steam coming out of it, so that kind of diameter was exactly the same. The original coffee
Is it the
holder
same?
wasn't.
It wasn't.
I had to use the one from.
So there
from
could
my
be
mom.
less coffee than in the one.
Yes, I made it with 14 grams of the Robusta.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's now at an acceptable temperature. Are you ready for this? I mean, you've
This-
had Robusta
I mean-
before, you just didn't know it.
Oh, really? This morning?
Well, in Italy, there's always
yeah,
like
there's always
maybe 30% of
Robusta,
Robusta
yeah.
in most, except if it says pure Arabica.
This morning we had Robusta.
When did we have Robusta?
The-
You had Robusta.
The espresso.
No, that wasn't. That was
Ah, well,
Arabica.
Okay, so
He's been drinking more coffee here before.
so the question is now, what is Robusta?
I think
I have to tell that this is actually a taste that is for me pure identically a Italian coffee.
well, that's what's shining through the Italian coffee, I guess.
This is for me quintessential. It's a kind of
Pure bitterness.
yes, bitter but not bad necessarily. You could drink this.
We are drinking it pure.
I should say maybe if I say metallic, I don't know if that covers the. It's a very distinct mineralic, first perhaps like something with
Tannins, something,
Yeah,
something like it's in the back of your tongue.
yeah
It's
dry,
like
bitter,
drying it out. Really.
It's something you really taste in the Italian espressos if you would buy them in Italy, I think.
You also understand why they have to kind of mix it with Arabica. Of course, it would be interesting to try very light roasts, and in the future maybe we can even compare the green taste of either the Arabica to the Robusta. But this is really for people liking bitterness or kind of probably having an addiction to caffeine and not minding that it is this bitter.
Actually, I like the bitter coffee. I think some of the coffees are too soft and don't have enough body. I mean, this is
Are
clearly
you sure it's bitter or it's not the original kind of sourness that you
yes,
appreciate?
it's bitter and sour. I think that is the combination. So I like this bitter, but I also like sour. I like both.
Because here the bitterness really masquerades.
Yeah.
If you really focus
Yeah.
on it,
There's
you
no
can,
sour.
You can pick it up a little bit.
Mhm.
There's still a little bit, but okay.
Actually, also one more thing to say is a shout out to my family in law who gave me this mocha device, which gave a fantastic product. This is a very old experimentation device, and even though we didn't actually use an espresso setup, it does give you the espresso flavors.
An espresso experience, definitely. So also thanks to your family and thank you, Carl, for bringing it here for show and tell. And I hope it was a fun experience learning about Robusta.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for almost following this live. I mean, it's not live, but I'm going to just throw it on the internet instantly. See
Thank
you
you.
next time.